Okay guys, this is the first time that I'm trying Gel X. I'm assuming this is Gel X because this is basically the same thing. I am pretty loyal to my acrylics. I think you guys know that. But I got this brand just because I use a lot of products from this brand and I really like it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really have high hopes and I still don't know if I have high hopes for these because to me I feel like, and I've been avoiding them because I feel like it's more of a press-on nail, and for me personally I just cannot do press-on nails. I feel like they just pop off. It's just not even an option for me. So mistakes were made and I kind of wish I would have known these things, little tips before I did it, because I kind of just went off the instructions and then just little 15-second clips that I've seen on Instagram. I did want to mention the cute little lamp that it comes with. It actually plugs into a USB, not the wall. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that when I opened it, but luckily the room that I film in, all my lights, the strip that all my lights are plugged into has those USB ones already, so I was able to plug it in, but just a heads up. Okay, step one, and actually my first mistake, is to file shape and buff the nails. Now, everything I see online and when I hear people talk about that Get Gel X, they say that you have to cut your nail, your natural nail, all the way down as much as possible. Now, I feel like this is a mistake. I'm assuming they do it because it looks better under the actual nail, but I feel like it's a mistake because if you have more of your natural nail, it makes it a lot stronger. It makes the hold a lot stronger, and also by me doing this, it felt a little weaker to me when I put the nail glue on, but also I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like it didn't have anything at the edge for the glue to grip, so it kind of, I don't know, it just didn't look right. So if I did it again, I would not go as far down as I did this time. So I would definitely leave a little bit more of my natural nail, at least where you can see like the white part under your nail. I've seen people that just cut it all off, so that's what I tried to do. Now I haven't did my nails in like, whoosh, I don't know, over a month. So I'm basically just, they really needed like work around my cuticles. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just taking the e-file and going around my cuticles because they needed to be cleaned up. And then I also went over my whole nail bed just to kind of rough it up a little bit so it gives the glue something to stick to, because I don't want it really smooth. And then after this, I basically took the file that it comes with and I'm just rounding out, kind of shaping my nails. And again, I just did this because like when I see little 15-second clips, I see people doing this, kind of rounding out the nail. Again, I'm assuming it looks better under the clear tip, but I would not round them out again if I did this. I would kind of leave a little bit on the edge because again, the glue doesn't have anything to stick to. So I definitely wouldn't do that again. The next step is to clean the nail. I just took a little bit of alcohol because it's what I had right there, and I went over each nail to kind of take off any like powder, excess powder, and kind of just to dry it out a little bit. As of right now, I can see a lot of pros and a lot of benefits to doing these type of nails. I don't really want to, this is just day 2 for me for having them on, so I don't really want to, I need to wait to see how long they last to really show it any type of love. So next is the nail tips, choosing the right nail tips. This is where kind of problems came in for me. So it comes with a pack of 10, 1 being the biggest and 10 being the smallest. Now originally when I got them, I thought they were way too short for how I've usually been doing them, even though I've been doing them shorter lately. But when I actually put them on and went to like go and cut them, they were ended up being like the perfect length. So the problem that I actually had, I don't think everybody will have. My nails, my natural nail beds are very small. I mean, every person that has done my nails has told me and literally laughed at my nails because they're so tiny. They're really narrow, especially my pinky. It is so tiny, it looks like a child's pinky. So a lot of them ended up being pretty large for me. My thumb was actually starting at 4, and then I kind of went down from there. It was weird because 5 kind of were a little bit bigger than 4. I don't know if they were mislabeled or maybe I just pulled out a wrong one. But yeah, my thumb was 4, and then I kind of just went down from there. But like for my pinky, none of them fit my pinky. And I just had a problem with that, but I think I would have a problem with any brand or anything like that because these are kind of, I'm assuming these are kind of just like standard sizes. I even have to do it with my regular nail tips that I use. I have to sand down the sides a little bit just to make it fit my nail. So that's what I ended up having to do here. So I just kind of picked the best ones that fit, like the smallest, like you can see my pinky, it's just way too big. And I ended up sanding down the sides to make it fit, and that was like kind of another mistake I made, because I didn't sand them down enough, so it actually made my nail bed look larger than what it actually is, which I really do not like. So that they are numbered at the bottom, which I found out later on, which is very helpful. But yeah, so that's a problem with what I kind of have with these kind of press-on nails and these Gel X nails. I feel like they make your nail bed look so much wider and thicker than it really is. I know because I didn't sand mine down enough that that's how they looked at the end, and I just really don't like that look, especially when I know my nail bed is a lot narrower. I was actually going to do this in the beginning anyways, before even trying them on. So the nails come like with a round shape, like a really round shape, and to me it's just not the way my nail bed is. It kind of has a curve around my cuticle. So I was kind of filing them down just to match my cuticles, around my cuticles, to make it look, because it's just not that round, especially the edges. They really needed to be sanded down, and it's super easy to do. So I was basically just molding them to fit my cuticle. And it was also a lot more comfortable when I did that, because I didn't have anything like poking me in my cuticle or pressing against like one side of it. I just wish I would have did it a little bit more, but I'll do that next time. So this next step, I'm going to file the inner part of the nail tip with, I'm just going to sand it a little bit. Again, this is not a step that I've seen in the instructions, but I've actually seen it, like people do it in little 15-second videos on Instagram. So I just went ahead and did it. I figured it was the same concept as sanding my regular nail down, just for the glue to have some type of grip. Okay, so the next step is to apply the nail glue and put the tip on your nail, basically. And this is where mistakes started happening and frustration started happening. So because I only see 15-second clips on Instagram, what it looks like to me when I view it is they put it on your nail, natural nail, and they're pushing down really hard, because that's the way it looks like to me, It looks like they're pushing down really hard to get out all the bubbles, and then they cure it. Well, that's what I tried doing. I put it on and I was doing it so hard to try to remove the bubbles, and it was just a hot mess. I had glue popping up. It kind of reminded me of the poly gel. You press too hard, the glue comes and kind of spits out the sides, and that's just not cool. You definitely don't want that. So the best way I can describe putting it on, it's actually you're going a lot lighter instead of harder to try to get the bubbles out. I would say if you've ever put on a phone screen protector, you know how you kind of like lay it down at the top very slowly and then kind of just drop it down softly and let it do its thing so there's no bubbles in it. That's exactly the way I can describe how you should apply these nails. Start out at the cuticle and just lay it down really gently and let the glue do its thing. And once you see that it's reached the end of your natural nail with no bubbles, immediately put it under the light so it starts to cure. Do not lift it until it's been like a couple seconds and it's cured, or else you will get the bubbles, which is another mistake, the bubbles. You could see here I was pressing down hard. It didn't matter how much glue I had, whether I had a lot or a little bit. I was pressing down too hard and the glue was coming, because I was trying to force the bubbles out, like by pressing down hard, and it was forcing the glue to come up. So I kept having to redo it. I would clean it up with alcohol and then try to redo it again. And I just found that once you kind of did it as soft as possible and let the glue do its thing, it kind of just did it for you. You didn't have to push down very hard. So I was kind of getting frustrated a little bit and just annoyed, but I feel like there is a learning curve to this, and once I practice a little bit more, I feel like this is definitely a pro, because it saved so much time. There was no smell from the acrylic. There was no like sanding down. There was no making sure like it's too thick, too thin. It was just so fast, and I feel like it would be so much faster once I practiced more and got it down. I can definitely see the benefit in all of that. Another mistake that I did want to mention is one on my ring finger, which I'll be showing right now. I did end up putting it very, very close to my cuticle, and it was actually hurting. Like I put it too far back, and I had already, and also it ended up having bubbles, and it already cured. I just wanted to take it off because it was hurting because it was too close, too far up to my cuticle. But then the fact that I had bubbles in it, my head just wouldn't let me, like the way my brain works, I was like, oh no, what if these bubbles turn into like fungus or something? I gotta get this nail off, I gotta redo it. But thankfully the off, and I take it off and redo it, and it was very, very fast. It was super fast, but I did have to like work a lot around my cuticle. So on that nail, there is some redness and it is a little bit sore. So that was definitely a mistake for that one. But that is another pro in my opinion. It definitely was way easier to take off than acrylic, and it didn't damage my nail at all whatsoever. But I just did way too much around my cuticle on that nail, and it just ended up getting red and hurting. So the next step is to cut them down to size. I originally I cut it down way too short, something that I'm not used to, but I felt like I'm just gonna leave it like that because it's better, because I don't know how long these things are gonna last. I do a lot with my hands, so I didn't want them to just pop off. I don't know. So I just went a little bit shorter than I usually do. So after you cut them, you basically just file them down to make sure everything's straight, and then that's it. It's ready for polish, which I again is definitely a pro. I'm loving the way once you get the glue situation, applications, like practice that down, this is definitely a plus because there's nothing there's it's a time saver, you know? There's no like filing them down, trying to get them smooth, trying to get them flat, trying to get them the right size and shape and everything. It's just all done for you. It's definitely I really found that to be a plus. Now, my only thing is how long are they going to last? Like I said, I do a lot with my nails. You know, I'm washing dishes constantly. I'm doing so much that I don't know how long they're going to last. I can say from being day 2, they feel so strong. They feel really strong. So they definitely don't feel like a press-on, much stronger. I don't know if they feel like as strong as acrylics right now. I guess the deciding factor is if I continue to use these is how long they're going to last for me. So you're just going to have to come back for a little update because I don't know yet. This is barely day 2, but so far I am definitely seeing many benefits of using these. As long as I practice a little bit more and get them down, I can see myself using these more again. So I did want to do a design with these, but I ran out of time. It was already getting super late, so I just went ahead and did a basic color. And everything I have will be listed and linked in the description box below. I went ahead and painted them and did a top coat and used my regular nail lamp that I normally use so I can kind of cure them all at the same time instead of using that little one. And then, yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any tips and check back in the comments because I will try to update you guys on how these are holding on so far.